Hey there, it's Cole from Outdoor School Bogong. I'm here today to talk to you about comfort zones. This is part of the Building Resilience series. This lesson aims to build your knowledge of what a comfort zone is and to help you map yours with some specific examples. You'll know that you've finished when you reach the end of this video and when you've finished the questions on the last slide. For now, let's get started. All right, so what is a comfort zone? We've got a nice picture here on the slide that visualises it for you. But basically, you can think of a comfort zone as a way to picture how comfortable something feels. So if something was easy, something you did every day, it would probably be in the blue part of that picture, in the comfort zone. Those things are going to be familiar, predictable. You've probably done them before, and you know that you won't react in a negative way. Whereas if there was something outside your comfort zone, maybe something you hadn't tried before or you'd tried it once and it was a bit scary, those things might fall into the learning zone just outside. Those things don't feel comfortable. They might just make you feel a little bit nervous. So as you move from the blue to the green, you're going to potentially get some feelings of stress and anxiety. And that's really normal as you get further out from your comfort zone. If you get so far out, though, that you're in the panic zone, that orange area, those feelings of stress and anxiety can get to the point where they're overwhelming and the situation is not beneficial and you're not learning anything anymore. And so that's not an experience that is constructive. So when we try new things, it's really important to aim for that learning zone and try and hit that area just outside your comfort zone without pushing people into the panic zone. Now that's going to look different for everyone, so it is kind of tricky. What we're going to try and do is map your comfort zone. So this is an individual task and yours will look different to anyone else's because it's based on you personally. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to draw that image that you can see on the screen there. So either in a document or if you've got a paper workbook, you'll need to draw a comfort zone and then another circle for the learning zone and another circle for the panic zone. And then once you've done that, I'm going to give you some examples and I need you to put them on your picture based on how comfortable you feel with those experiences. If you need a minute more to find a piece of paper or pull up a document, maybe just pause. I'm just about to jump into the examples. So the first one is jumping on an aeroplane, taking a flight, probably just one within Australia. And this is a good one because if you've done it before, particularly if you've done it a lot, it probably is quite close to the centre of your comfort zone, that inner circle. But maybe if you have only done it once, it might be a little bit further out, or perhaps if you've never done it at all, it might be outside the comfort zone and in the learning or the panic zones. I want you to draw wherever that fits for you. Second example, trying a new food. Let's say that you went out to a restaurant and you ordered dinner, but something on the plate didn't look familiar and you weren't sure what it was. How would you feel about eating a food that you didn't know what it was? All right, hopefully you've got that one down. What about public speaking? This is one that tends to scare a lot of people. I want you to use the example that you're speaking in front of the school assembly. So maybe on behalf of your class or a group that you're part of, speaking to the whole school at an assembly. How would you feel about that one? I know my heart would race a little bit if I was doing that. All right, another example. This one might vary depending on where you live. If you're down by the coast, this might be something that's super familiar for you. However, if you live inland, maybe you don't have as much exposure. I want you to put on your comfort zone map where you would see swimming at the beach fitting. All right, so those 4 examples that I've already given you have been pretty general. I'm going to give you some examples now that are really specific to the things that we normally do at Outdoor School at Bogong. And the first one involves sleeping in a tent. How would you feel if you were asked to go out camping for a night and you were sleeping on a sleeping mat on some nice soft grass, but sleeping out in a tent? Pop that one on there. Next example. What about if you were asked to put on a life jacket, jump in a canoe and go out paddling on a lake? This one's Lake Guy. It's actually at Bogong Village, and these are some of our students. I couldn't find a student photo, so this one's me, but next example is mountain biking. How would you feel if you had to pop on a helmet, jump on a bike and pedal along, let's say, a gravel road? How would you feel about that one? Hopefully you're keeping up with me. The next example involves some of our animals at Bogong. So these 4 are part of our animal education program, but I want to draw your attention to the bottom left. This is Piton. Piton is a children's python. So he's not venomous, but I want to know how you would feel if you were asked to hold Piton, if you were holding the python. And then I've got one more example for you. This one is climbing up the high ropes course. So attached to a rope and totally safe, but definitely can seem quite scary. So how would you feel if you were 10 or 12 metres up in the air and you were on the high ropes course? Now, hopefully with those examples, you've got a bit of a picture of where your comfort zone fits, of where different things are within it. And you're welcome to put as many examples on there as you want. So if you've got other things that you want to put on there, feel free. You just have to make sure you've at least got those 9 that we just went through on there. Cool. So then I guess the next question is, why do we actually want to get out of our comfort zone? You'll have seen that quite a few of the photos I just showed you were from Bogong, and we tend to try and put people out into that learning zone. And the reason is that it grows your comfort zone if you can do things that are just outside it. I want to talk a little bit about some of the benefits. So the first one listed up there says you'll be more productive. And what we mean by that is if you are just cruising along, there's no sense of urgency or no challenge, you can kind of just do the bare minimum to get by. Whereas if you're in a situation where you're challenged or your boundaries are pushed, chances are you're going to have to be on your game a bit more, which is going to make you more productive. So it can help with that. You'll also have an easier time dealing with changes that come up. So by taking risks in a controlled way, for example, challenging yourself to go on the high ropes course or do something that seems scary, you can experience the uncertainty that you get with being outside your comfort zone, but in a controlled and manageable way. And so what that means is when you are then outside your comfort zone next time, you'll sort of know how you're going to react when you're out there. You'll also find it easier once you've been out in your learning zone, you'll also find it easier to get back into it, if that makes sense. So once you step out of your comfort zone once, you become more accustomed to the feeling that you get in the learning zone. And as you challenge yourself, your comfort zone adjusts. So for example, if my comfort zone was here and I did something that sat just here outside my comfort zone, and I smashed it, I aced it, and all of a sudden I feel great and comfortable with it. My comfort zone actually expands to then include that thing. So you get bigger, your comfort zone gets bigger the more things that you do outside of it. And then the last one on there is talking about harnessing creativity. So by seeking new experiences and challenging yourself, it's naturally going to help you be more creative and sort of switch into a different mindset. So there's some really great reasons to get out of your comfort zone. I thought I'd just throw this picture up as well. I really like this one because you have your comfort zone, but where the magic, the learning and the growth happens is outside of that. I also just wanted to share this quote with you because if you haven't done something before, it's going to feel hard. It's going to feel difficult probably. But the more you do it, the more familiar it becomes. And I guess that ties in with that idea that once you do it, once you get out of your comfort zone, it's easy to do it again. Cool. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an overview of what a comfort zone is, and hopefully doing your own comfort zone map has helped you understand what you are and aren't comfortable with. We're going to work our way through these 3 tasks just to finish off this session. But as a bonus, you've actually already done the first one. So the first one is asking you to draw the comfort zone and list those 9 experiences. So make sure you keep a copy of that. And then a description in your own words of what is a comfort zone and how do you feel when you're outside it? Really nice thing about that question 3 is it's going to link in quite well if you follow us through and you come along to the managing stress session. So that will tie in nicely what you write in question 3. I think that's about all from me. Thanks for listening in today, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Catch you later.